Well, the pressure is now on me. What can I say? I did a lot in my life just because I got a lot of help. Help is all you need. And help, how do you get help? The first help is love. Love is all you need. It's a song from the Beatles. All you need is love. And the day you die, and you have given love, and you have received love, then that day you can say, I was successful. That's the only measure of success, is how much love have I given to other people. That's the success, and that's life. We are here for a little period, and during this little period, we have one mission: to share. Sharing is an act of love. Try to share. Try to think. A mother shares her body with all of you. Nobody here in this room is not the result of a sharing process between your mother and yourself. If women would refuse to share their body, to share their blood, to share their oxygen, nobody would be born anymore. So we are the result of a sharing process, the result of love. And that's the rule of life. And that's all what matters. The problem is nobody teaches you this. The religions, they cannot talk to the young generation because they talk to us as if we would be in the 12th century or in the Middle Age. Nobody can understand. Nobody is interested. Parents, families are disappearing. Or let's say they are rebuilding and rebuilding. Today, you don't get divorced once, you all already get divorced twice. And, and how many more times in 20 years? So the love has gone, but that's all what we need. And as I am born as a hippie, 1968, and as a hippie, we were saying, peace and love. Imagine we would have peace and love today in our world. And that's, imagine what it means. We have today no peace, and I don't see much love. And as a hippie, we were saying all we need is peace and love. We were saying flower power, the power to the flower, which meant we have to protect planet Earth. Planet is our ultimate mother. Today, this is very a daily problem. How can we save planet? How can we save the climate? So my life, and that's not marketing, unfortunately, has been conducted by love. I don't know why, but I discovered that I had to behave in the way love behaves. And because of that, if you behave with love, then people will come to you. People are gathering to the ones where they can feel that there is love. And because of that, I got so much help. I got so many people ready to help me. And because all these people were trying to help me, I started to listen at them. It's not enough if you get help. You must accept help. And to accept help, you must be capable of learning. And who teach you how to learn? Nobody. The schools are giving you every day a spoon of knowledge. And you get it in. And tomorrow, another spoon. And then you leave university, but you don't know how to learn. Because you have been used that they feed you with knowledge. But after the university, then you have to start to learn. You have to start to learn how to learn. And you have to be humble. And you must never believe you know it. You must have doubts. The doubt is your friend. Anybody with little doubts, I'm afraid of. Because these are the dangerous people. People who drive the car with no doubts in the fog or on the street full of snow, I'm afraid of. I want people that have full of doubts. Because the doubt helps you to stay humble and helps you every day to ask yourself, am I on the right track? What I did yesterday, is that right? Is my vision still okay? And if you forget to ask these questions daily, one day you will be in the wrong direction. So that was my first answer to marketing. I believe I didn't do much marketing. I enjoyed my passion. And again, passion. I was not born with a passion. I had no passion. That's why I was maybe a hippie, because it was the only thing I thought I could do. And I went to live in a community with 8 other people. I lived in a Volkswagen Westfalia bus. We were driving around Europe. We were going to Bulgaria when Bulgaria was closed, was a communist country. We were going to Romania. We were going on the Black Sea, where we had fantastic Russian girls. So that was my hippie life. But this hippie life had one element, love. And that I never forgot. And it had one element, respect. When you live with 8 people in a small farmhouse and you come back at 5 o'clock in the morning, you respect the people who are sleeping. Because you know these guys, at 7 they have to get up, and you just be quiet because you come back at 5. If you live in a community, when you go to the theater, you take just the money you need for the theater and the beer. You don't take the whole money that is there, because you have to share. And next day you say, guys, I took 8 Swiss francs. I went with my girlfriend to the movie. So you learn the respect. You learn how to share. And if mistakes are happening, you learn how to forgive. My goodness, if you can share, if you can respect, and if you can forgive, you are in paradise. You are in peace. And when you are surrounded of peace, then you are strong. Because how can you be strong if you are not in peace with yourself? If you are not in peace with your heart? If you are in peace with your heart, if you're in peace with yourself, then all the strength of your soul, all the strength of your love comes out. And it goes into the eyes of the people. And people are connecting to you. And when people connect to you, they support you. And then suddenly you are not alone anymore, but you have the whole community helping you. And that is the start of my life. That's how I behaved. I was influenced by an ethic behavior called love. Then, as I had no passion, as I said before, one day I said, I need a passion. But where will I find it? I have no passion. And I said, can I not find it in the toy of the boy? Yeah, which toy did you have as a boy? I had a steam machine. And I loved steam machines. Wow. And what did you do? I played with this steam machine like crazy. And how can this steam machine become something else that you can play with as an adult? And I didn't know. And nobody helped me. Just one day, I saw a watch on the wrist of a friend of mine. And this watch had no dial. A watch with no dial normally doesn't exist, because how can you read what time it is if there's no dial? And as it was without a dial, I could see the machine, the movement, everything behind it. And I said, wow, that looks like my steam machine. Boom! I had connected. The steam machine and the watch is the same. Just the steam machine was for the period where I was a boy, and the watch will be for the period where I'm the adult. So I had made the translation from the toy to the passion. And I just decided, that will be my passion. And when you decide, this will be my passion, you start to study what is a watch. You start to study the history. You start to study the art of making watches. You start to study the people who are making watches. And the more you study, the more you go in depth, the more your passion becomes real. The more the passion gets substance. Suddenly it's a heavy passion. And once it is a heavy passion, suddenly one day you see the whole new universe. And you see the universe of passion. And in the universe of passion, when you move, there are no hours anymore. There is no time. Because passion is love. And love is eternal. And love is with no limit. So when you enter the universe of passion, you are in eternity. And you are without limits. And once you are in eternity, once you have no limits, wow, you fly in this universe. And you forget if it's day or night. You forget if it is Sunday, Monday, whatever, Eastern, Monday, Eastern, all these holidays. You don't need them, because you fly as a free man in the universe of passion. And that is what I got. So I spoke now 10 minutes. 10 minutes where I have only to say, and you noticed how privileged I am. I have been privileged from the first day on. Privileged to be born with the right parents. Privileged to be born in the right place. Privileged to get a good mentality. Privileged to have a good health. Privileged to have a certain good sense. Privileged to find a passion. Privileged to get help. My goodness, if after all this you cannot build a success in your life, then you are really, then you should, I don't know what to do, but then you have a real problem. So you see, where is marketing? No marketing so far. Only privilege. And the privilege to be in a new universe, which is the universe of passion. And I wish everybody can go in that universe. The universe of passion is open to everybody. But many people don't know. They believe passion should come down from the sky. No, you go to find your passion. Passion will not come to you. It's like luck. Luck cannot come to you. You can buy as many lotto things, you can make bets on Barcelona and Madrid. Luck will never come to you. But you go to luck. That's much more secure. You go to take luck. If you are a stay till luck comes down to you, forget. You will die and no luck will have ever come. Luck is a process where you move to luck and you take luck and you say, come on, luck, I keep you now. And you take another one tomorrow and so on. So now to become more concrete. To become more concrete, once I had this passion for watches, I had another phenomenal privilege, was to find a job. I mean, finding a job in your passion, that's a double privilege. First you must have the passion, and then you must find the job. So once I had the job, and I accepted a job in a company where I was told, you know what, Mr. Biver, you did your university, I did a degree. You know, in those days we believed the degree was important. And they were probably. Today everybody makes a degree. Except the French, they make bac 1, bac 2, bac 3, because they cannot finish the studies at the university. So they say, I did 1 year after the examination, or the 2 or 3 or 4, but they never finish. But the French are still okay. For the wine, for women, for champagne, for perfume. For taxes, they are terrible. For politics, they are horrible. But it's okay. So this guy from that company told me, you're going to work 1 year, Mr. Biver, and I give you half a salary. I said, what? Half a salary, 50%. I said, why? I'm going to tell you. Because you will not work during 1 year. You will not work, you will learn. And because you learn, somebody must teach you. And my company is going to teach you. So you pay me half of your salary to teach you. These were the good bosses. That's the right way to think. That's what you have to tell to the young people. You come to me, during 1 year I give you half salary because the other half you pay me because I teach you. Which is true, by the way. That's how it is. But the young people, they don't want half salary. They want full salary. Okay, then I don't employ you. Stay outside, go to another company. Young people must be ready to accept half salary. And they are not ready. At least not in the few countries I know. So this guy told me, half salary and no office, no secretary, no visit card, no phone, no traveling, no nothing. I said, but what will I get? You're gonna learn. And to learn, you don't need an office. And to learn, you don't need a secretary. And to learn, you don't need a phone. And to learn, you don't need a credit card. And to learn, you don't need a name card. So I started to learn. And during 1 year, I was there learning. And how do you learn when you go in a company? They put you in an office with the director of the design. And then you are there, and then you sit. And the guy designs watches. And he says, okay, hello, sit there. And then you look. And the guy designs. And after 2 hours, you say, what am I doing here? I cannot look this guy designing all the time. So you start to ask questions. And then the guy says, sorry, I have no time. I must design my watches. Then you tell him, do you want the coffee? And he says, yes. And then you go and make coffee. So you start becoming very, very humble. And you don't want to lose too much time, so you try to take from him, to take knowledge from him. And then you tell him, yeah, for lunch, can we have lunch together? They say, no, not now. I have my wife. Yeah, but maybe one day. He said, okay, let's see. And then you have one day lunch with him. And then the guy starts to become more open. And one day you say, can I invite you with your wife to my home, and so on. So I have been 1 year in the company, sitting with everybody, with the director of production, with the director of the after-sales service, with the director of the quality control, with the director of the design, with the director of IT, with everybody, with the finance, with everybody. And because of this, I learned the basics of the history of the company, but also at the same time the history of the watchmaking art. And after 1 year, I knew much, much, much more about the history of making watches, about how to make watches, about the mentality of the watchmakers, about the history of the Swiss watchmaking industry than anybody else, because I had been 1 year just listening to people. And then, when I started to sell, I said to myself, I cannot sell watches. How can I go and to visit a jeweler in München or in Hamburg and sell him watches? No way. I will travel with no watches. So I went visiting people, and people said, yeah, Mr. Biver, you are coming. Yeah, we had your fax that you were coming, but where is your collection? I said, I have no collection. But are you not here to sell me watches? Yes, I'm going to sell you watches. But where are the watches? I said, I don't bring the watches. Let's talk. Let's see what is your stock. Let's see what you have sold. Let's see what you need. Let's see what the salespeople are telling. And then we might have some answers. But do you want me to bring watches like sardines and you choose? No. We are making art. We are making soul. We build soul. I say, well, soul, what is soul? But our watches are made with by hands. And hands of man are transmitting love to the watch. And the watch is a piece of love. It's not an industrial process. It's not something that becomes obsolete. It's a piece of art. And as every piece of art, it has the heart and the love of man inside. And then the jeweler said, wow, nobody talked like this to me, Annie. I said, but that's a pity. That's the only way to talk about high quality Swiss watches. And it was the start. And what did I learn in this start? And that helped me for the end, and it will still help me for the end of my life. I understood that only a dead fish in the Rhone, which is our Swiss river, which we give to the French from Geneva on, and then it becomes dirty. So dirty that in Marseille it is nearly totally polluted, but it leaves Geneva clean like a glacier water. And when we go to the Rhone and we look at the Rhone, we see that dead fish swims in the direction of the stream and in the same speed as the stream. And how about a fish that is alive? Swims against the stream, or left or right to the stream, or if it goes in the sense of the stream, much faster. Only that fish swims in the direction of the stream and in the speed of the stream, which means never do what other people do, because you will be that fish. Be alive, be different, be unique, be the first. And I developed my today's still strategy. Whatever I do, be the first, be different, be unique. If you cannot pretend that I'm the first, different, unique, leave it. Give it to other people. Any project, any event, any exhibition, anything that comes to my office or to me, the people who are giving it to me have to write a quarter-page A4, which is this size. If somebody cannot write a concept in such a space of an A4 paper, he doesn't know what he tells you. He must be able in 5 phrases to tell you what's the project about. And then he must have 3 things to tick. 1, are we the first? Yes. Are we different? Yes. Are we unique? Yes. Bam! Then we say, no budget. Open budget. Whatever it costs, we don't care. Because each time when you are the first, when you're different, when you're unique, you have a winner. And if you have a winner in poker, play and go. And no limit. Go to the bank. Take money. Borrow money. Because you cannot lose. And if you're the first, if you're different, if you're unique, nobody can lose. You have a winner in your hands. And you must then play, and play hard. And that I learned when I sold, by chance, watches without watches. And because I did this, everybody was talking, this guy, coming and he sells no watches. He comes and tells you, and he's like a priest of the art of making watches. That gave me a reputation, but it gave me the idea, always be different. And always try to be the first. And always try to be unique. And if you achieve this, you have a winner. Then I learned, again, I said it before, that if you behave well, then you will get huge quantity of help. I have the same team since 1979. People have worked with me in 1979 and they still work with me today. Although we went to 3 companies. And not one person, it could be one from 79 because she's crazy and she's in love and she follows me wherever I go. No, my whole team. The marketing director is an exception. She's a very young girl and she has been with me only since 93. But 93 is 20 years and now she's 50. So she has been nevertheless with me since 93. My CEO has been with me since 86. Production manager, he's retired now. He had been with me since 82. These people, if you have a team around yourself, then you are really strong. Because the team is, no, you cannot win alone. Nobody can win alone. Nobody. It's impossible. You need team. You need help. You need support. And 3 companies we went with this team. 3 times we were successful. You have here in this country, in the country of course, you have a great football team, the Spanish football team. Now, if the Spanish football team would play with shirts from Switzerland, who would win? And the Swiss would play with the shirt of the Spanish team. The winner would be Switzerland. Because it's not the shirt who wins, it's the people. And if the Spanish player put the Swiss T-shirt on and they play under the name Switzerland, Switzerland would be World Cup winner. So it's not the nation, it's the people. And my people are like the Spanish team. I have the best people around myself. And if you have the best people around yourself, you must win. When we sold this company, Hublot, to LVMH, when the majority shareholder didn't want to accept our management buyout, when he decided to sell to LVMH, LVMH asked, because we were a company small, doing 220 million turnover, but in 2008, but in 2005, when we took over the company, we were doing 32 million. So from 2005 to 2008, we went from 32 million to 220 million. And we had no loan, no leasing, no mortgage, no credit, nothing. 100% cash. And we were doing 49.6 million profit. We took a company in 2005, 32 million Swiss franc. Turnover, 2008, 220 million. 49.6 million profit. In 2005, 2.6 million loss. No loan, no mortgage, no credit, no leasing, no nothing, cash. LVMH said, okay, if that's the case, we pay 10 times profit. So they wanted to pay 496 million for the company. And we, as a management buyout, we were ready to pay 250 million. And when they said 500, we said, well, no, leave it. Because nobody of us had the money to go up to this amount. But when they said, can we have the reports of your committee de direction? We said, what? Yeah, but you didn't make meetings? No. But how do you do strategy? We talk in the street, we talk in the car, we talk on the phone. No, you must have done, no, never. Why? Because when you work with a team, and you have been working 30, 40 years with the same team, you talk with the eyes. The eye is the best talking part of the human being, because eyes never lie. With the tongue, you can lie. With writing, you can lie. Eyes, no possible. The eye is terrible. Sometimes stars, they put black glasses, so you cannot see the eyes. So then they can eventually lie. I never understood why all these stars have black sunglasses. Because it's the only possibility to lie, is when you cannot see the eyes. But as soon as you see the eyes of the people, no lie is possible, only the truth. And so we said to LVMH, we only talk with our eyes. I think it had taken us half an hour to explain what it was meaning. How do you manage to take a company from 32 million to 220 and you only talk with your eyes? Eh ben voilà, that's the truth. That's what we did. And we did the same thing already with Omega. We took over Omega, the same team, in 1993, and we tripled the turnover between 93 and 2000, 3 times more. Okay, it's not the same amplitude, but Omega started not at 32 million. It was a much higher start. Nevertheless, we did 3 times more in 7 years. And I did with Blancpain. We started with the same people in 82, and we started in 82, where we bought the company Blancpain, called Blancpain. We bought the company for 22,000 Swiss francs, and the company was not existing, because for 22,000 Swiss francs, you cannot buy anything. Even if the Swiss banks, no, they were quite good in those days. They couldn't sell you at 22,000 something that was worth 23. They were selling you at 22,000 what was worth maybe 16,000. So we bought it 22, only the name. So we started from nothing, from scratch. And in 1992, 10 years later, we were doing 60 million. And we were doing 13 million profit, and we had no loan, no mortgage, nothing. All with the same method, all with the same theme, all with the same concept: respect, sharing, forgiving. When I took over Hublot, 2005, there were 36 people working there. And in the beginning, they were doing losses since 1982. Non-stop loss. No, 2000 they did a profit. Except 2000, all the rest losses. So in the beginning, I had some people. My team, I only asked them to join when I was sure that we could really do a good job there. So in the first 6 months, I was alone with these poor 36 people. And I did some meetings. And I said in the meeting, you know what? Everybody must tell me today one mistake he made in this company. We had a meeting. Nobody said a word. I said, come on, somebody must have made a mistake here. Give me a mistake. No mistake. Next meeting, I said, I want a mistake, please. I will do nothing against you. I only want us to become transparent and not to be afraid of mistakes. Because the mistake is the best learning process in the world. No success can be reached without mistakes. The mistake is the base of the success. No mistake, no success. Finished. The more you do mistakes, the closer you come to success. But never repeat the same mistake. Idiots, they always repeat the same. This have to go to the competition. You make a nice certificate. He was very good. He tried very hard, and he goes to competition. Then he helps you from the other side. He couldn't help you from inside. Let's have him help from outside. And then after the third meeting, I said, okay, 1,000 Swiss franc bonus for every mistake that comes on this table. And one mistake arrived. I called the bookkeeper, and I say to the bookkeeper, please make a check for 1,000 Swiss franc. And the bookkeeper said, well, why? Because she accepted to tell me one mistake. What was the mistake? We wanted to buy some bags. We were doing 7,000 watches in those days. And she bought 70,000 bags. She bought so many bags to get a good price that we didn't know where to stock the bags. We had to rent a little part of a farm to put 50,000 bags. You know, the bag where you can put the watch? And she accepted to give me this mistake. And I said, it's fantastic. You did a great job. You tried to have a good price, and you imagined that 70,000 would be okay to have a good price, but you forgot that maybe 10,000, okay. But nevertheless, she got 1,000 Swiss francs. Today, we are rid of the 70,000. And today, we say, we have to buy again. During 7 years, we didn't have to worry about bags. We had enough. Now we have to buy again. So you see, a team that is open, the team that talks, the mistakes that are shared. Because I learned from your mistake, and you learn from my mistake. If you are sitting 6 people in a room, and the 6 people every week tell 6 different mistakes. My goodness, I did 1 mistake, but I learned 5 others. So I have I have my own experience, but I have the experience of the others. Wow, you become wise very quickly if you share all that. The problem is people are afraid. People are afraid to share their mistakes. People are afraid to share their doubts. They want to show they have no doubts. They want to show they know everything. And so it's all a question of attitude. And the attitude, that was, and my ethic, that is part, and my help, that is part of my success. And marketing, I made it easy. I want to be the first, I want to be different, I want to be unique. Finished. And that's all what it is about. Of course, there is also a little bit of thinking. When we decided we needed awareness, when we decided we needed to go into sponsorship, where would we go? Are you a luxury product? Yes, sir. Okay. Please go in golfing, go in polo, go in tennis, go in horse riding, go in yachting, go in the Bolshoi, go in La Scala, go at the opera. And he said, oh, fantastic, great. Who else is in polo? Bam, bam, bam. Who else is in tennis? Boom, boom. We said, but what should we do there? We will not be the first. We will not be different. We will not be unique. So we rejected all the suggestions, including the Bolshoi, including Hermitage in St. Petersburg, including the l'Opéra de Paris. Everything we said, no, 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 no. Because it's not the first, not different, not unique. Where will we go now? And suddenly somebody, a friend of the Swiss TV, said to me, go in football. And every professor stood up and said to me, never go in football. Football is popular. Football is for the mass. Football, no luxury product is in football. You have Visa, Adidas, Heineken, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. Have you ever seen a luxury product in football? No. So, why? Because it's not the right place to go. And we said, professor cannot be right. If professor is right, he would be in business. Professor cannot be right. So we studied football. Just because we wanted to be different, the first and unique. We studied football. And as you know, we live in front of France. And from our sea, we see every day the French side. And the French, they were in 1998, they won the World Cup. Zinedine Zidane was the king of the 1998 campaign, and they won the World Cup. When the French won the World Cup, something very strange happened. In France. I don't say in other countries, I don't know. A football player suddenly had all the most beautiful women around himself. Like in Formula One. When women go around men, something must be right with these men in money and prestige. The rest maybe also, but mostly is the the most easy thing to detect is money and prestige. Women went behind these guys, and Carambeau married a girl. I don't remember her name. Somebody must remember here. Beckham married a girl. She was called Posh or something like that. Victoria. And today, people, if you ask, what is the name of Victoria Beckham? People know her only as Victoria Beckham. The girlfriend of Carambeau, everybody knew her name as Carambeau. So we said, hey, if women go behind these guys must have something special. They must make money and they must have prestige. If this football player have prestige and have money, then we have already an approach that could be eventually not so wrong. Because in every football club, you have 22 players and you have 22 millionaires. Every player wins $1 million from Madrid, from Barcelona, from Valencia, wherever. That's why these clubs sometimes go bankrupt. If you pay 22 players $1 million and more, of course you go bankrupt. So, but nevertheless, then we notice that the trainers, they also make money, not only the players. They also are superstars. And then we notice that rich men or entrepreneurs or politicians, they buy clubs. Abramovich buys Chelsea. Berlusconi buys AC Milan. Juventus bought by the Agnelli family many years ago. So we have a real potential of customers in football that could be directly our customers because they have the money. Is that enough to go into football? No, it's not enough. That's only a few million people. Now, we also noticed that when a football player wears a special jacket or shoes or shirt or watch, many people will watch it and many people will be influenced by what he's wearing. If he drives a Porsche Cayenne, when the Cayenne came out 10 years ago, all these football players had Cayenne, so everybody was buying a Cayenne, and so on. So we found out that these players are acting like ambassadors. Then we said, okay. We went then to football. I went specially to the stadium, to Torino, with Mr. Lavazza. He makes coffee. And Mr. Lavazza invited me. And he was driving his Maserati, driving, till we were in the middle of the stadium. Because he had there's a VIP road, and you arrive in the garage under the stadium, and you have VIP garage. And when you jump out of your Maserati in the VIP garage, you suddenly think you are at the automobile show of Geneva. Because you have 65 Ferraris, Bentleys, because you are in the VIP garage. And from the VIP garage, you take a lift, elevator, and when the elevator door open, you have two women, 1.85 meters, dressed till here, that are there, hello, with champagne. You say, what? Then you enter into the lift. The elevator brings you to the 10th floor. And in the 10th floor, you have a red carpet. You walk on the red carpet, and every 5 minutes you have another girl like this, and then also like this sometimes. And you say, where am I? What is happening to me? Are we going to a football game? And Mr. Lavada, no, we're going to my private seating. I have a room. And then you arrive, and he has a room that is half of this room. And you have wonderful seats from every Italian designer. You have a bar, you have food, and you have another girl, and another girl, and another girl. And you start to drink, to talk, and people are coming in. And at a certain moment, somebody says, guys, there's now 1-0 for Juventus. And, yeah, it has started 22 minutes ago. Nobody has watched football. And then, wow, we all go outside. And then we say, bravo, and go back and drink champagne and women. So I said, aha, if that's football, maybe I have also my clientele here. And then, and then we looked around the stadium downstairs. I saw a huge number of young kids, aged 18 to 30. And I said, but 18 to 30, they cannot buy my watch. No, they cannot. But if I am in football, they will know my watch. And if they have been knowing my watch from 18 to 30, when they will become 30, they might buy my watch because they have been seeing my watch for so long. So we said, in football, we are doing triple great things. We will talk directly to Abramovich, Berlusconi, Agnelli family, to all the players. We will talk to all the rich guys who are renting big boxes to watch the game. And we will talk to the next generation who cannot buy now, but can buy in 10 years. If you go into polo, nobody watches polo that is not at least 35, 40 years old, in Europe at least, because no young people are interested in polo. Same in golf. There are some exceptions, of course, but golf, the people who are watching golf are usually your age or my age. So when you go in those sports, you only talk to the customer of today. But what about the customer of tomorrow? So football, you talk about the customer of today and the customer of tomorrow. So you have double. And because of this, we decided we would go to football. And we were the first different and unique in football. And it was the biggest asset for the brand was to go into football. But we said to football, Mr. Football, I am sponsor of your game, but I want to be different. I don't want the same signature like Coca-Cola or Visa or Heineken or Nike. So they said, where do you want? I want to go on the referee board. The fourth referee board who tells to the TV how much additional time is there and who indicates the change of players. And they said, but there's no advertising on that plate. Put Hublot there. And we had Hublot on the fourth referee board. And when you watch World Cup in Brazil next year, when you watch Euro in Paris 2016, when you watch World Cup 2018 in Russia, or World Cup 2022 in Qatar, you will always see the Hublot board. And the Hublot board comes to you because TV goes on it, because they want to indicate how much additional time. So we have a different signature. We are totally different in football. We are different than Adidas and all the others. And we are different from all the other competition in football because we are the only brand in football. And that was an enormous part of the today's success. So you see, be different, be unique, and be the first. We are in Spain, and in Spain, at 10 o'clock we go for dinner, and it's already 9. And we have all to drive home. And I was asked if I could answer some questions. So if we want to not to spend the night here, I will stop my speech now, and I will open. If there are some questions, I would be very pleased to hear them and very pleased to try to answer to them. Yes?
I understand that you're looking to enter markets that are different or other companies have not got into, but do you think it's necessarily right? Because it seems like it's not about whether
Excellent question.
The luxury brand, or if it's not in there, it seems to be you're changing the rules for yourselves without understanding if it's the right etiquette or not.
Absolutely right. Bravo. This is a fantastic question which has been asked many times by the big stars of LVMH in Paris. And they are totally right. And they constantly ask the same question as you. And I constantly give the same answer. I have no idea if it's right. Who am I to say if it's right? But I have one answer. 32 million in 2005. Today, it's no more 2008, it's 2012. 400 million. So if you multiply your turnover by 13, if you have no debts, if you have no loan, if you have no mortgage, if you have no credit, if you do 80 million profit, something must have been right. And what was right, what was wrong, I don't know. I only know I did 80 million profit. I only know I did 400 million turnover. But don't ask me what was right, what was wrong. That's such a stupid answer from my side, I know, because they always tell me what a stupid answer. So I know it's a stupid answer, but I have no other answer to give you. We are with David Guetta. Probably you don't know, he's a French guy who plays music. We are with Beyoncé. We are with, of course, her husband, Jay-Z. How can you go in luxury with Jay-Z and 50 cents? Stupid! But we are with Jay-Z, we are with 50 cents, we are with David Guetta, and it's working. We are with Alicia Keys, and it's working. And if you see Kanye West, when he made a pair of Nike shoes, $5,000 the pair of shoes. Now we are making one at $10,000 with him. We're gonna come out with Dwayne Wade. Kanye West, he has another. He is not sponsored by us, but we are with Dwayne Wade. We're going to produce a very special shoe with Nike that we are going to retail 10,000 Swiss francs, dollar, each pair of shoe. Why? Because these rappers, that's well, and that's not luxury, but it's still luxury, and it's an enormous push for the young generation. And the young generation, 15 years old, 17 years old, 14 years old, they know exactly which pair of shoes. They know everything about the Kardashian family. They know all these things, which I don't know. But we have been with these rappers. We have been with 50 Cent. And not with the opera, not with Placido Domingo, but with 50 Cent. It's voilà, because Placido Domingo is with every luxury brand. But 50 Cent, nobody is with 50 Cent. He was in prison, he is terrible. but he's a billionaire. And whatever he does, everybody wants to copy him. And he's black. And everybody told me in America, don't make advertisement with a black. I don't know why, huh? But I said, why? So we have a black guy called Jay-Z. We have a black guy called Dwayne Wade. We have a black guy called Usain Bolt. They're all black. Who cares? But in America, a luxury brand never associated its image with a black. Never. As if the black would be poor, as if the black would be bad. It's an old attitude of racism. And this old attitude of racism is still active today, but we said, finished. We go with the black. Boom. And I believe, I swear, not many people understand what we are doing. But we do understand the result. We just understand the results.
LVMH has a lot of other brands. And they probably are not multiplying their revenues by 13 every 5 or 6 years. Did they learn anything from you? And then also, did you learn anything from them?
Of course, they cannot multiply by 13 because this brand, which I took over in 2005, was on the ground. So it's always easy from nothing to build something. So that's why we did so much. Nevertheless, to reach 400 million, we are the 14th biggest Swiss watch company. There are only 13 companies in Switzerland that are bigger in turnover than us. In the Swiss industry, we are positioned 14 from the turnover point of view. So only 13 companies do a higher turnover as we, which means we are, even if we are small, we are already have grown. Now, did LVMH learn anything? LVMH is a very standard, unbelievable successful, the biggest success in the world of luxury. And they are very high quality luxury French mentality. And I don't believe they understand everything. Football, they still don't understand 100% why we are in football. They still don't understand why we are with 50 Cent or with Jay-Z. Other things they understand, yes. What did we learn? We got help. We got help from them. We could open a store in Place Vendôme. We could open a store in Madison Avenue. We could open a store in Ginza. We could open 5 stores in China. We could open a store in Manila. All these store openings, without the power of LVMH, we would not have got. So they helped us in the distribution for our own mono-brand stores. They helped us tremendously by leaving Hublot as an entrepreneur brand and not controlling much, controlling the results, as long as the budgets are right. You know, we gave them a budget in 2008, a 5-year budget. In 2012, we had 1 million discrepancy with our forecast of 2008. So we gave a forecast 2.8, 2.9, 2.10, 2.11, 2.12. And in 2012, there's 1 million difference on 400 million. So our provision was at 1 million right. So they leave us as being entrepreneurs. They control the results, of course. But so we learned that a big group can leave companies being run like individual or family. That's very clever. That was I never expected LVMH to be like that. And they leave really every brand, they give huge freedom, provided the results are right. But I don't think they 100% understand why we go in the music. And you know, there are 3 things I always say that are popular. I'm in Davos. Davos is the World Economic Forum. I have to talk about that subject. And I can start preparing my speech now with you. There are 3 big events in the world. Football, World Cup, Olympics, of course. Formula 1, it's 500 million every year. Olympics is every 4 years. And music. If you are in music, if you are in Formula 1, if you are in football, wow, you have the 3 biggest events in the world. And Hublot is in Formula 1, Hublot is in football, and Hublot is in music. We are not in the Olympics, that's Omega. But out of the 4 biggest mega events, and you know what? A mega event is becoming a prestige event. The Olympics is a prestige event. The Football World Cup is prestige event. Not a little game Malaga against Valencia. That's not necessarily prestige because it's local. But World Cup, wow, every woman, everybody looks at it. Formula 1, boom, it's prestige. So the mega events are transforming, they are becoming self-supported, a kind of prestige event. And we are in 3 mega events out of 4. That's fantastic. And that, I'm not sure everybody understands. It's normal. I mean, it's even not written in the books. I'm doing now a book with IMD. It's a Swiss institute in Lausanne, where we want to reveal a new way to interpret luxury in marketing. And no more necessarily with La Scala and Bolshoi and all that, which is correct. I mean, it's great. But there are other ways. And the new Y generation, they have another thinking. And you cannot talk to my youngest son, who is 13 years old, with Placido Domingo. I'm so sorry for that, for him. But I cannot talk to him with Placido Domingo. Maybe later, but today not. So if I want to prepare this young generation to buy my watch, once they have the money, I have to prepare them now. It's like Ferrari. We are with Ferrari. That's another thing. We are associated with Ferrari, 360 degrees. We are partner of Ferrari. We are partner of Scuderia. We are partner with Ferrari World. Everything that Ferrari does, everything. Every lounge, every salon, every new car is with Hublot. Now, Ferrari, you go to Rio de Janeiro, to the slum, and you go to the slum of Bangkok. In every slum in the world, kids know Ferrari. That's a miracle. And how come that this brand is still prestigious? Every kid has a Ferrari cap. Every kid has a Ferrari t-shirt. And the brand is still prestigious. Why? Voila. Here is the answer. Because of that, I said, we have to do the same. We also have to go down to the street. And when you see the designers, McQueen and all these guys, they take from the street their inspiration. And then they sell to the luxury people. But they take the inspiration from the street. The street is now no more the street. It's the street for old people, old-fashioned. But for the young generation, the street is what is the command, what is the future.
How are your sales in Spain, and how do you adjust your strategy as countries,
Yeah.
obviously the crisis, and as opposed to Spain, where do you see the largest growth for the future?
In Spain, we are not very active because in Spain we have an agent and we don't sell directly to the retailers. We have somebody in between. And if the people in between, if you have a brand like Hublot, you are much more efficient if you have nobody in between. Because our pipeline must be direct, because it's so difficult to understand Hublot. As I said now, football and all that, many people don't understand. And because they don't understand, they don't follow. And the activities we have in Spain are very classic because the agent is quite efficient, but is classic. And he could sell other brands in the same way. But Hublot is another way. And so we are not very active for the moment in Spain. And this agent has a contract that is still running for 16 or 17 years. So we are just a little bit patient. And we have so many other countries to take care. But he's doing okay, I mean. But he's doing it his way and not 100% the Hublot way. But it's okay. We don't complain. Now, the future for big groups is big because there's a concentration going on. 5 days ago, Harry Winston was bought by Swatch Group. 1 year ago, Bulgari was bought by LVMH. The concentration goes on. And the more it's concentrated, the more the big groups are becoming big and important. But don't forget, when the groups are becoming big, they open niches for small brands and independent brands. And I think time has come now for independent brands to start again, because there are so many, there are 4 or 5 groups, and they leave big niches open for small brands. So I see quite a good future, both for groups and for the small brands.
Last question, and then we have the time to mingle and to discuss with Jean-Claude during an apéro.
Yes?
You spoke about mistakes, which is very interesting. It would be good to know what's been your biggest mistake. Your favorite, let me ask it again. What's been your favorite mistake?
No, I have no favorite mistake. I have a big mistake. And they are not favorite, but I think, if I'm very honest, and I tell you the real truth, I think my biggest mistake was to divorce with my first wife. My biggest mistake was that she came to a point to say, I leave. I leave you with your brand. So she left me with my passion. That was a mistake, because a man has to learn to share. And you must not only share outside, you must also share inside. And you must learn to share when you are at home. And when you are very young and when you are developing with a lot of energy, sometimes you might not share enough in your own home. And that was, if I may say, my biggest, my worst, my most terrible, my most dramatic mistake. But, and that's now quite interesting, it was a mistake that I could not digest during 9 years. Because I could not overcome this mistake, I sold my company. Because I had lost all I had no drive anymore. Because when you lose your family, when you lose your kids, when you lose your wife, and when you still love them, which was my case, then you are suddenly empty. And when you're empty, everything is gone. So I sold my company. Because I sold my company, because I was desperate, I could redevelop a new life. Why? Because I sold to Swatch Group. When I sold to Swatch Group, I happened to know the boss of Swatch Group, called Mr. Hayek. He took me as his spiritual son, more or less. He took me quite close to him. He gave me the management of Omega. I developed Omega from 93 to 2000. It was a fantastic new adventure. I brought all these testimonial, Cindy Crawford and James Bond. I brought all these guys on board. It was an incredible success. And then I left Hayek. I made Hublot, phenomenal success. And in between, after 10 years, my first wife have left me. She left me in 89. In 1999, I got married the second time, and I had again 3 kids. So this huge mistake enabled me a huge new life and adventure. And today, I have to admit it was a mistake, but I must also say, thanks to this mistake, my total life changed. And my life would not have been so exciting and so great if I would not have made this mistake. I even got new children. And when you have children, when you are 50 years old or 52, then suddenly you realize that you cannot be a grandfather. Because at 52, you have the mentality of a grandfather. And I said, God, Biver, wake up. You are now 30 years old. Why? Because you just got a child. And this child cannot have a 52-year-old man as father. He must have a 30-year young man as a father. So I changed my mentality, and I became young again. And I started to ski again. I bought a sailing boat, and I went to camping. I bought a camping bus. I became young. So all this added one to the other one happened just because of my big mistake. So my big mistake was also my big opportunity. And that is the lesson of life. Big mistakes, transform them in opportunity. Don't stay with the mistake. Transform the bad into good. Be like the Japanese fighting spirit. You come from the back and jack, you take the energy of the one who wants to kill you and you return it against him. So transform bad into good. Transform mistake in success. Voilà.
Thank you, Mr. Biver.